Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders has been named as a Pro Bowl games replacement for Patriots quarterback Drake May. This according to NFL insider Jordan Schultz. So Shedeur Sanders is heading to the Pro Bowl games, as is Lions quarterback Jared Goff. He's replacing Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold on the NFC roster. Bunch of coaching news. Bills interviewed Broncos quarterbacks coach and passing game coordinator Davis Webb for their head coaching job. They also have a scheduled interview with Rams passing game coordinator Nate Schillhouse later tonight. Schillhouse getting a second interview with the Browns today. The Athletics' Diana Rossini says recently unretired quarterback Phillip Rivers has withdrawn his name from consideration for the Bills head coaching job. Grant Yudinsky of the Jaguars still up for the job in Buffalo, but he's withdrawn his name from the Cleveland search. Mike McDaniel officially signing his deal to be the Chargers offensive coordinator. Outfielder Harrison Bader gets a 2-year deal from the San Francisco Giants. I'm Dan Byer.
Yo, let's go, buds. Another week,
All
more
right.
fun.
We're here. We hope you had a great weekend. Hope everybody's safe from the snow. Hope you enjoyed your foosball, the Super Bowl set. Hope you had a Patriots-Seahawks sort of weekend, a Justin Gaethje champion UFC 324 sort of weekend. We have lots to get to,
Would
man.
you say a Dan Byer type of weekend? I gave him the
a
little
DB?
I gave him the congratulatory text
Oh,
message.
you're the best.
Did you?
Let me tell you, you're not the only guy. I know you think you're the greatest, but you're not. I reached
Great
out to
job.
Dan, too.
Do I need to go to the time codes to see who got in first?
Let's do that. Yo, this month fun. Hey, let's go.
All right. Hey, Covino on the East Coast. I hear a little bit of a choppy connection. That's because he's probably buried in snow. And by the way, I realized something just yesterday when I was looking at all my bozo friends on the East Coast shoveling the snow off their car and their porch and their backyard, their driveway. I'm not sure if I'll ever snovel. What is that word? I don't know if I'll ever shovel snow again. Why would I?
Snuffle.
Why would I ever shovel snow again?
Snuffling.
Why would I ever snovel?
I never snuggled in my life, so I don't know.
Oh, Covino, we can't hear you, buddy.
Snuffling.
Snuffling. But
I said I had never snuggled ever.
well, I was not missing the East Coast at all over the weekend when I saw everyone getting their bread and milk.
Let me tell you something, man. I picked the worst weekend to be here. The only fun part about it is you get that feeling of feeling trapped in the house like you did when you were a kid on a school day. So I'm out here on the East Coast. We're broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember, if you miss any of the show, check our podcast. Search Covino and Rich. Rate it 5 stars. But we're streaming live on YouTube, Covino and Rich FSR right now if you want to join the live chat.
Now, when you think about this past weekend, that first game, I know they showed the still images from the beginning of the game till the end, but there was an expedited, weather shift in the third quarter on. Like, you watch the beginning of the game, they do show the pictures where it's like, it's like cold but sunny out. Like it seems like a nice day, Danny G.
Nice, crisp, sunny day.
Like one of those, like, ooh, it's chilly, but it's like sunny, like the sunny, chilly day.
You could still see their breath, but the sun was shining onto the field.
And then by the fourth quarter, it was like a classic snow game where it was like, it was not only a little factor, it was the reason why the fourth quarter, New England didn't even try to do anything. They were so confident, and, give Rabel credit where it's due, because I thought it was a little conservative, but he was pretty much thinking, you're not scoring, we're winning. Let's just run out this last 15 minutes. There was no sense of New England trying to score in that game.
In a game like that, it almost comes down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
And they were just saying, you know what? We're not going to make one. We're gonna be conservative, boring. 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes. Every second that ticked by, Mike Vrabel looked like it was a smarter decision each step of the way.
Drake May, 86 yards passing?
Yeah.
Did it with his legs. That's how he hurt him. Got him on the touchdown run and had a big run as well, I think, to help them set up a field goal on that opening drive of the second half.
But sometimes it's not needed, right? And so, why force it if it's not needed? They were winning that game, and I think we all got that sense of I don't know if Denver could move the ball. And it wasn't just Stidham. It just seemed like they couldn't move the ball. And you're like, yeah, this game's going to be 10-7, isn't it? I felt that way in the beginning of the fourth quarter. I'm like, I don't know even if they get 2 or 3 more possessions, I'm not quite sure they can move the ball all the way down the field, let alone get a first down.
Yeah, I remember there was maybe the 11-minute mark of the fourth quarter. I think Denver got the football, and you knew if they didn't do anything in that point, New England would get the football. They would take time off the clock. And if you were going to score, you would need 4 or 5 minutes because there just weren't going to be big plays. You weren't going to be able to do anything quick. So even if, Denver would get the football back with 2 minutes, I don't think there's any way that they were going to score in that situation.
And the passing game ended up turning into, if there was a pass, it was a dump off to the line of scrimmage, gain of a half a yard. You're right, there was no big play. So you knew that if they were going to drive, had to be long, and that wasn't happening.
Right off the bat, even before the blizzard, you could see that Denver could not run the ball successfully, so they became one-dimensional. And New England, they spent a good amount of money on that interior of their D-line, and it's paid off. They are hard to run against.
Visually, it looked cool if you want to be positive about it, but it was boring as hell. That game was boring, but set up for a real game. If my connection sounds like I blame this.
Well, I'm blaming the snow for your weak ass connection. But visually, I did have a question for some science nerd out there, or someone that just knows graphics. Like Spot, you're our video guy, and you do a great job here on Fox. The technology for the first down line, we get it. It's very similar to the green screen, but they layer it where that line doesn't interrupt anything. There was a point where they were superimposing the yard lot 30, 40, 50 in white, and I'm thinking that's a newer technology. They've done that the last couple seasons.
Yeah, we've seen it before. I thought it was more of a grayer look in previous times when we saw it, and maybe they changed it up there. However, they ditched it. People were complaining with having that grid on the field, but it was crazy because you couldn't even see the midfield logo of the Bronco head that they painted. Now, granted, some of it was white, but you would see the outline of the navy and the orange, and you couldn't even tell where that was. So you had no idea where they were on the field at any point unless you could judge by where the sidelines were. It was, and by the sidelines meaning where the Patriots team was and where the Broncos team was.
One point, Tony, remember
the sidelines.
Yeah, at one point, Tony Romo, remember he was guessing. He's like, I think it's at the 33, Jim.
Oh, he guesses during every broadcast.
That technology all was based on the latest technology in hockey.
Man, what is going on? Is there icicles hanging from your microphone? All right, he's out.
He's gone.
Man,
he gone.
That was 4th and 1.
Covino, go shovel your dad's driveway. Hey. But yeah, no, just an action-packed weekend. We do this every Monday, so why not incorporate all this into something we like to call things that made you go,
Let's go, baby!
Things that make you go,
Things that make you go,
So we talk snow game, first game. Again, on a regular given Sunday, snow games are always fun. You want to see it. It looks cool visually. You're like, oh, wow, these guys are slipping and sliding. But I do wonder, is there a part of you that thinks a championship caliber game shouldn't be decided under those conditions? Or is that just football and what a wimpy thought? Of course, it's football. If it's snow, it's snow.
I apologize, and I don't want to sound like that guy, but I have been in that case where I want to see the best at their best.
Yeah.
And last year, I think when the Rams and Eagles ended up playing in their own blizzard in the divisional playoffs, the teams actually played pretty well. The Rams moved the football. Saquon Barkley ended up having a big, couple of big plays. You had the Rams get adjusted to it. Took them a little while, but they had a chance to maybe win in Philadelphia. But that's more of the outlier. I think what happened yesterday is more normal of what we see in those situations. And, I mean, the Broncos were at a disadvantage already without Bo Nix. Their running game was hasn't had J.K. Dobbins since the middle of the season. So they were already at a disadvantage. Now you throw the weather as part of it, and, it just did not bode well for them at all.
I thought halfway through the game, I'm like, you know what? This is football. I mean, this is, you play in rain, you play in snow. That's what makes football different from other sports. You play through the conditions regardless.
Yeah, and the Broncos were still in the game. They probably should have took those points. It would have been, 10-0. They were trying to make it 14-0. It just, that backfired on them. That was too much of Sean Payton trying to say, hey, I'm going to coach this game as if Bo Nix was still in there.
Romo and Nance said something that at first I'm like, yeah, I get that's ridiculous, but I guess you're right. He goes, at one point he's like, both teams are right where they would want to be right now if you ask them before the game. And he's like, if you ask the Patriots, they're up on the road late in the game. Of course they take that. And if you ask Denver, hey, you're down by a field goal in the second half with your backup quarterback in the AFC Championship, they probably would have been like, you know what, I'll take it. But the snow really did play a factor. And you're right, DB.
Are we sure we got the best teams, though, Rich, as a result? Would you think the Patriots would have won, or is it better off because you want to back up in the Super Bowl? Like, did we look out that way?
Oh, Covino.
Since Covino's broadcasting from the future, can he tell me how the Seahawks do against the Patriots? It sounds like a different dimension.
Let us know. Is Dan Byer going to be happy in 2 weeks from now? Will DB be cheering on the field?
I think so. If you want to base the level of play from this weekend, yeah, the Seahawks look dominant, and I think they're going to score a lot of points against the Patriots.
Well, I wonder what we're going to see in 2 weeks. I'll tell you what we are going to see. Charlie Puth, Green Day, Bad Bunny, and two teams that, I mean, we have known? Did the script leak? Did you see something else that maybe go, That image of all the NFL players, the star players, facing Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Spot, if you could pull it up for people watching on the YouTube. On the live chat, I'm sure people have seen this. Just somehow, coincidentally, you have your Burrow and your Saquon and your Purdy and all the stars of the bigger teams. But then when you look in the distance, the two players in this image closest to the stadium are Sam Darnold and Drake May. Like, what's the chances? What's the chances of that?
Well, they were the two best road teams in the NFL all season. So,
but I'm saying this is an image that was made a while back.
September 4th, I think it was posted.
Like, look at that. If you're watching on our YouTube stream right now, you see Purdy and J.J. Watt, Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence. As you get, you get closer and closer, and then in the distance, you're like, who is that in the distance beyond Dak Prescott and Patrick Surtain? Like, wait, the two.
You got to zoom in.
You have to zoom in. It's like, oh my God, it's Drake May and Sam Darnold closest to the stadium.
So it's not about the colors or getting the colors right this year. It's all about this image, and it is pretty cool to see.
The script.
Lucky guess. The script makes you go, for sure.
So I thought that was interesting. So the image from the NFL, that was viral this weekend. And the second game, I just felt like there was a couple opportunities for the Rams. I thought, Dan Byer, you were probably super nervous that 15-yard penalty could have been the worst play in your franchise's history.
Oh, absolutely.
Were you thinking like, oh my God, if this is what is the reason?
Second worst, but yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
Second. Very rare when a team have a worst.
Second.
I'm sorry.
Which, by the way, I've seen it 20 times since the Seahawks won yesterday. Like, that was the one everybody goes to. The last time these teams played the Super Bowl, this is what happened. So we're gonna be inundated with that for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they are angling it like some type of revenge. Do you look at it as revenge, or it's like they're two different teams with no real history other than that moment, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I saw some clips from Seattle fans outside of the stadium that they do feel that it is revenge. Like the players, there's no way that it is because nobody's left. Nobody was on that team 11 years ago that's on this current team right now. So there can't be any of that. I do think that the fan bases may feel that way, which is funny because I think that's an emotion that you didn't know that was there. It could only be there if you played the Patriots. And I hadn't dwelled on it. I didn't think that the Seahawks needed to repay New England or will repay New England because it's not a sure thing that they're going to do so. But I didn't realize on how much that stood out, especially because it felt like it was such a I don't know. It's tough to explain, but yeah, it's stuck in their craw.
I often wonder if fans of all teams across all sports hold they're really like baby grudges against the team that did you wrong. Like, as a Niners fan, I'll be honest, there is a part of me that's like, man, the Chiefs got me twice. Like 2 times I, as a fan, was there. The fan base was pumped, and Mahomes got us twice. So there's a part of me that's like, F the Chiefs.
I hold more of a grudge against the Steelers from getting all the calls in Super Bowl 40 than I do. Like, I blame more of the Seahawks for the play at the 1-yard line and how that play transpired than it had anything to do with the Patriots. The Patriots just happened to be the team on the other side of the football with the player who picked it off. But I had more of a grudge with the Steelers because it felt like they got some home cooking with the officials than I do of trying to get revenge from Super Bowl 49.
Like, Covino, even in baseball, is there a part of you that's like, man, the Diamondbacks like ruined my 0-1?
Absolutely. I think from the petty fans, as Matt199 says, it's from the fans, not necessarily the teams. I don't think you ever forget those things, man. They stay with you. But if we're talking about impactful plays, you have to go back to Xavier Smith dropping that punt and putting them in terrible position. I think that really changed the whole tone of the game.
No matter
catch up from there, and you feel so bad when a young player like that muffs a punt in such a big moment, because how do you live with that the rest of your life? That's just so tough.
I was just going to say the reason why that was so damaging was because so much is made about the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. And so Seattle at that point was able to score late in the first half to go up 17-13, and then they get the football coming out of halftime. So if you go down and score in that scenario, you got a little breathing room, right? You got a 2-score advantage. Maybe you're playing a little bit with house money. Somehow the Rams are going to have to break serve and be able to continue to score. But they got the stop.
I feel it lit the fire. I feel like it lit the fire of the Rams, and they answered quickly, but then they were playing from behind the entire time, and it really changed the whole tone of the game.
If there was another quarter of the game, who knows? But in that moment, I agree 100% that muffed punt, because I was watching that game, and I was out to dinner with like some of the families from my kids' flag football team, and one dude went to the bathroom and he came back and he's like, "What happened?" Because if you had dipped away for a couple minutes, you thought, oh, the Rams are going to get the ball back and they're down 4 to, oh, man, muff punt recovered. And like on the next play, Sam Darnold touchdown, just you blink and they're up 11.
You want to know what's crazy?
That momentum shift happened, and the Rams chased that for a quarter and a half and just couldn't really get the job done.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
If you guys want to call the punt and the fumble and then the Seahawks scoring kind of the same possession, if you will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Each team had the ball 4 times in the second half. 4 possessions each in the entire second half. So it was, because it's touchdown, and then nobody scored in the fourth quarter because the Rams had that super long drive that took them all the way down. But there weren't, because I don't know if you guys saw it on Dana, I don't know if you saw it, like they flashed a graphic on the screen that the Seahawks were low 50 in plays and the Rams had like 44 plays. And this was later in the game. And I'm like, that's not a lot of plays. So these teams were making the most of their opportunities. It wasn't a high-paced game, even though it was high scoring, but there were not many possessions. And so you fumble that one possession. That ends up being the difference.
I feel it did make the difference, and I feel like it did light a fire on Stafford and the offense. And you saw how quick they were able to at least answer back. But on the flip side of it, Sam Darnold answered back every time. And if Stafford is, maybe your MVP of the season, man, Stafford, I think, shut up a lot of non-believers over this weekend. Anyone that doubted that guy.
You mean Sam Darnold?
Darnold.
Yeah.
Darnold really shut up a lot of people, in my opinion, because he had an answer every time the Rams showed any promise. So major props to him, man. I think they're looking really strong moving forward.
Something that made me go, and Dan Byer, you could speak to this, being that you are a Seahawks fan. So you actually had a horse in this race, someone in this fight. What would you have in a fight? A dog in the fight. Sorry, Mike Vick. So, when you're watching, what is more stressful as a fan? Because this is a thought in itself. When your team is on defense,
yes,
and you have to hold
Yes.
You have to hold the line. Or when your team, like Covino, would you rather be
Like Toto, bro. Like Toto.
hold the line Toto style? Like Dan Byer, when your team's on defense and you're probably standing up being like, stop them,
Yes.
come on, stop them. Versus on the other side when you're like, come on, get in the end zone. What is more stressful as a fan? I'll start by saying I think through your shoes, I'd imagine those defensive stands where you're so stressed, like, please don't give this up. That's anxiety.
Yes, 100%. And it was such a different feeling from when the Seahawks got the stop because they still had to move the ball when they got it on the 4th down stop. There were 4 minutes left in the game, knowing that if Seattle did not get first downs and not use the clock, the Rams were going to score. Like the Seahawks were going to stop them in back-to-back possessions. It just wasn't going to happen. And so, but just the feeling of getting that 4th down stop to me was 10 times as agonizing because it's that kind of helpless sort of feeling. Not that being on offense is any different, but
yeah, you feel like there's some type of control. Like
yes,
when
agree.
Earlier in the playoffs before my team clocked out, thanks to you guys, Dan. As a Niners fan, when the Eagles were going for that last-minute drive that fell short, that to me is so much more stressful than when your team has the ball. When your team has the ball, there's like a hope, like, come on, let's do something. Defense, when your team's giving up chunk plays and you're like, what are you doing?
Couldn't agree more, man. There's the feeling of put yourself in that situation, Rich. If you're in control of the situation, let's say you're on the mound pitching, you have less pressure. You feel less anxiety because you're in the position to control the situation, right? In football, it's the same thing. If you have the ball and you're trying to score, you're way more relaxed than trying to hold them.
Ooh, interesting. See, in baseball, I'm wondering if you flip it because would you rather be playing the Dodgers and watch your team have Dodgers have 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, and your guy's pitching? As a fan, you're like, oh no. Or do you rather have your team playing from behind, batting?
Actually, you know what? I'd rather. That depends who's pitching, right?
Yeah.
When I was speaking from that perspective, I meant actually play.
As a player, yeah. As a player, you want control, yeah.
You want control. As a fan, anytime you're on offense, you feel more comfortable than on defense. I think it's just our default sort of setting.
I would also think like the sense is that because the Seahawks were in the lead and they needed to get the stop, that it's like you have one hand on the trophy or one foot in the Super Bowl. And if you don't get it, it's taken away. Whereas if you're trying to come from behind, it never was really yours to begin with. So maybe there isn't as much of an attachment to it. Mm-hmm. But I feel when you have the lead, when you are there, that is to have that taken away from you, I just think is worse. It's, to me, 10 times worse.
Wow. What stood out to me was the contrast of both games, right? Low scoring, boring, high scoring, awesome, and how the home field advantage for Denver ended up working against them in the snow. Like it totally worked against them and didn't help the outcome of that game. But
would Boston have been the same?
It would have been even worse. Yeah, they kept showing how snowy it was there, but it didn't help Denver by any means. And
do you think
on
this
the
is
flip side,
Covino? Do you think this is why the rendering of their upcoming new stadium has a roof on top of it?
Seriously, dude, I think so, yeah.
And Buffalo, their new stadium, they're trying to keep the wind and the elements out of theirs. I think coming up, we're going to see less and less elements for NFL football.
It's fun. It's fun, in video games, but it played a total factor here. And as a result, I'm not sure of the outcome. I'm not sure of how excited I am of this Super Bowl, even though it's going to be great. But on the flip side, you heard how the home field really did make a difference and how loud the fans were. And you know what made me say, did you notice Tom Brady's reference as to how loud it was or no? Did you notice who he compared it to?
No, I missed it.
No. He's like, it's like we're at a Pearl Jam concert. And I just thought that was a random reference for a Tom Brady. That would be his reference.
But a good local reference to the Seahawks fans.
Oh. Yes. So I thought, I did acknowledge that. But I also thought, interesting reference. And
Tom Brady likes Pearl Jam, huh?
Yeah, I guess he's a Pearl Jam guy, maybe over Nirvana, but it stood out to me. And that's where we're at right now. Anything that made you go, could have been from the fights, some really great fights, could have been from anything you watched. But, of course, it was a big weekend for football because the Super Bowl is set.
Of course. We'll get into more of the games you saw this weekend. Plus, What's ahead? All that and more. Covino Rich on a Monday. More things that made you go, next.
All right. Are you facing hiring headaches? Staffing your business is complex. High turnover, skills gaps, and ever-changing regulations can slow growth and drain resources. That's where Express Employment Pros comes in.
With decades of staffing expertise, Express connects you to a larger pool of qualified candidates, helping you reduce turnover and build the right-size workforce. Get started at expresspros.com.
Need to flex your staff for peak seasons or special projects? Express Employment Pros offers contract staffing so you can scale up or down with ease, preventing burnout and boosting productivity.
Worried about compliance? Express stays on top of ever-changing employment laws. Express is recognized for excellence, earning clearly rated Best of Staffing, Client and Talent Awards, plus the Diamond Award for Client Satisfaction.
Don't let hiring challenges hold your business back. Visit expresspros.com, find the local office, and discover how Express Employment Pros can help you hire smarter and faster. And if hiring is taking you away from growing your business, get the support you need from Express. Don't spend your time weeding through spam online applicants. Hire faster with Express.
Express Employment Pros, building your workforce, supporting your success. The Brewers get a couple highly touted prospects from the Mets. And this is a segment I like to call Who Gives a Rat's Ass About Prospects?
Good one. Little wordy, but I like it.
I don't give a rat's ass.
I don't give a rat's ass. Because in baseball, football, basketball, it's the equivalent of like late round draft picks. I get it. It's nice to have that equity. It's nice to have those picks. It's nice to have those prospects. But we, more so than ever, name the sport. It's like Amazon, Prime Now. You order something, you want it that day or the next morning. We don't have the patience. Like, oh, Covino, I ordered a new jacket or some sneakers. They come in next Friday. Yeah, no thanks. I'm going to try to find a pair that gets on my doorstep tomorrow.
Right now.
We are impatient. So why do you think people want to wait for prospects? I have Met fan friends that are like, man, I'm excited about Peralta, but we gave up Jet Williams and Sprout. I'm like, Sprout was 0-2 last year with an ERA around 5. He's a young, talented guy, but, I mean, do you want to wait for this guy to work out?
I want to know the numbers of how many times players to be named later or prospects ever really pans out. It can't be that often.
And you know what? Your team knows who they are. Like, and the other one was Jet Williams, who's like, he's like 5'8", crafty little like center fielder. I'm like, the Mets don't need that.
Yeah,
So
and I'm sure he's good, and I wish him the best and all, but he's not the Freddie Peralta you need right now.
I think every franchise in all sports, they know like the one or two guys that got away over the years, right? Because your franchise agonizes over it. Like, oh my God, you know, we the Mets traded away Nolan Ryan in the 60s or the 70s. You know those guys. Even right now, the Mets, they let PCA, Crow Armstrong, get away.
Mm-hmm.
But he got like a mediocre second half. He's a really good player, but like, hey, you got to win now. And to me, when people say,
yeah, but you need the pieces that you need too, though. Like you said, you need starting pitching, and that's what you got.
To me, give me a starting pitcher that is a frontline guy like a Freddie Peralta, and I'll give you 10 farm system guys because who cares? You have Luis Robert, you have Soto, Lindor, Polanco. If you're a Mets fan, you have all these guys. Like, so who cares about a guy?
By the way, Rich, you're always quick to remind your friends and everybody on Fox Sports Radio, like, to get what you need or to get somebody of quality, you have to give up something. Trades don't work just one way and that's it. You can't ask for an MVP caliber player or an all-star or 17-win pitcher and expect to give up nothing.
I heard
that's not how trades work.
I heard a Knicks fan the other day, one of my buddies on the East Coast. He's like, man, it would be really cool if they got Giannis. What if we gave him, and he just started naming like Knicks bench players. I'm like, that's not how trades work.
That's not how it works, dude. I mean, that sounds great and all, but that's not how it goes. knows. So if you want a quality player, you have to probably give up some potential or another quality player.
You can't get Scooble from the Tigers for a bag of potato chips and a utility infielder.
I think baseball is unique because of the prospects. We rarely see player for player in the NFL, so it's player for draft pick. And in the NBA, same sort of deal. But what is interesting to what you're saying is I think that people thought that the normal argument was going to be rich get richer. Look, Brewers trading their ace because of whatever. There are some in Milwaukee who are very frustrated with this move because of how good last season went, because of what their strength was. I mean, they didn't hit it all in the NLCS against the Dodgers, but this is also the reason why the Brewers have perennially been in the postseason year after year after year following this sort of route. But I think ultimately, to your point, Rich, in baseball, the name player is always going to win. It's immediately always going to win. Now, Jet Williams, could be a 10-time Gold Glover, by 2037, and then we'll look back at it. But right now, it feels like you're getting something for nothing.
Yeah, but right now you have Soto, Lindor, and all these guys that are getting older every year. Go get Freddie Peralta if you can.
The Rangers got Mackenzie Gore today for 5 minor leaguers from the Nationals.
Yeah, 5 guys that maybe one works out, but we'll figure that out, like you said, in years from now.
Yeah.
I never care about that. It's like a stock that blew up. It's like, well, at the time I didn't know. So why do you cry about it?
Man, I should have bought Bitcoin
no,
when
it really
was whatever.
is.
Yeah,
it's like, man, I had it. But at the time you didn't know. So what difference does that make? Yeah, in retrospect, all you could do is shrug about it. Like, well. So if Sprout or Williams becomes a thing, hey, what are you going to do? You needed Peralta in the moment. What's more nerve-wracking? Watching your team hold the line or having to score? Did you enjoy the games over the weekend? All your observations, things that made you go, it's Covino and Rich live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. I'm live from Snowmageddon in New Jersey, but doing okay. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. And have you ever wiped with a piece of dry toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not.
Did you stock up before Snowmageddon, though? You got to get the bread and milk and the dude wipes?
And the dude wipes, yeah. Switch to life-changing wet, extra-large flushable dude wipes because wetter just cleans better. Available on Amazon and at all major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes, best clean pants down.
Now, Cove.
Yeah.
I know you love to compare it to fights, and it's a great analogy. Matchups sometimes determine the outcome of a fight. You can't say, well, this team beat this team, so this team should beat this team. But
as I've always said, styles make fights.
Yeah, styles make
just
fights.
Just like styles make games. The matchups matter.
There was 2 stats I want to throw out there. Me and Dan Byer were talking about one during the break, and our buddy Rob in San Antonio hit us up with another. 3rd down efficiency yesterday. The only difference was Seahawks were converting. They were 7 of 13 on 3rd down, and the Rams were 1 of 8. Usually a highly efficient offense like the Rams, 1 3rd down conversion. That's your story right there. That's the game. And when people wonder why the Seahawks are 4.5 or 5-point favorites in some places for the Super Bowl, I think we all respect the Seahawks defense so much. And when you saw that yesterday, the Patriots found a way to score 1 touchdown, and that 1 touchdown was on 2 plays, 12 yards off a turnover. So if not for that ill-advised Stidham, shuffle, turnover type of pass, then, would they have moved the ball at all?
That play was just so damning to the Broncos' chances. Yet all we focus on is Sean Payton's decision on whether to kick a field goal or not.
Yeah, that was –
And what made it worse for the Stidham play was – that play was a 3rd and 4 from their own 33-yard line with under 3 minutes to go in the first half. So if he doesn't do any of that stuff, the Broncos are punting it probably far enough where the Patriots, who had struggled throughout the game to get anything going offensively, would be able to do anything. And instead he drops back 20 yards and then throws the pitch that's the lateral. And that was the entire game right there. It's not even close.
It's funny you would say drop back a lot. Now, I think they pointed this out on the broadcast, but I feel like we all observed that. I don't know if every quarterback's 3-step drop is different or people move in the pocket differently, obviously. Don't you feel like Stidham dropped back particularly far?
Yeah.
Like I feel like on each step, he did his 3-step drop, and then he just like moseyed back another 5 yards. I felt like he was always so far behind the line of scrimmage that even a pass that I thought was like going to go somewhere was just back to the line.
Yeah, I think in the back of his mind, he knew he was the backup quarterback all game, and that your job is to not do anything to hurt yourself and to hurt the team. And in that moment, he thought that a 20-yard sack was the worst thing that could hurt the team. And it wasn't even close. It was trying to throw a pass that ended up being a fumble.
And you guys said it. The Patriots win, but they don't win by much. And is this where the comparisons to Tom Brady end? Because you see a lot of that on social media of how both the 2001 Patriots and the 2025 Patriots, Drake May gets in his second year. They both have 2 crappy seasons leading up to it. Is this where the fairy tale ends? And
they're both playing a favorite team from the NFC West.
You're seeing comparison after comparison.
They both had both teams had the same Super Bowl odds.
Yeah.
60-1 and leading into it preseason. So I think this is where it ends, but I don't want to say anything that jinxes Dan Seahawks because you never know how it pans out, like Rich started this off, because styles make fights. But I think my gut feeling is this is where the comparisons end as far as the dream season for Drake May in comparison to Tom Brady.
I'll be the first to say I knew Sam Darnold is a good quarterback because I saw that once you took him away from the pile of stink known as the Jets and the Panthers, like I remember as a Niners backup, there was a lot of chatter that like, Sam Darnold's really good and could go in this Kyle Shanahan system, and then he goes to Minnesota. It's like, oh, man, Sam Darnold's pretty good.
Most winningest quarterback in the past 2 years, man. That's impressive, dude.
There are
two different teams.
There are people that thought, man, are the Seahawks, is this a filler quarterback, or are they really looking to win when they give Darnold the deal? Because you could look at it as because, listen, not every team has their franchise quarterback at all times. I didn't know if the Seahawks really looked at Sam Darnold as the guy that would get him there, and here we are. So I guess some of us owe Sam Darnold and the Seahawks an apology.
Still leads the NFL in turnovers. He had the most turnovers of any player in the NFL this year, so that hasn't changed. He's gotten a lot better. The crazy part of that turnover thing, Darnold did not have a streak of 3 games in a row where he didn't throw an interception this year until the last 3 games that he's played.
I'm so glad you said it because I remember I kept saying it. Probably you want to strangle me every time I said it. But remember over the last month I keep saying, Sam Darnold's due for a stinker. Those turnovers
better get him some dude wipes,
right?
Those stinkers.
At your get together, you stood on your couch and announced that to everybody.
I was like, this guy is due for a stinker. He's due for a stinker, and you know what? Those stinkers are all in the beginning of the season. So
hopefully he doesn't have it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, wishing Dan Byer some luck here, man. You don't get there that often. When you do, you got to capitalize. And I think the Seahawks. Again, I don't think the Seahawks or the Patriots saw this coming. I mean, both teams are big underdogs to entering the season.
Can I quick give you a thing that made me go,
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
The Drake May quarterback sneak on 4th and 1 that was ruled a first down, where video seemed to show that he did not get the first down.
Overhead footage made it seem like he was significantly shy of where they spotted the ball.
There wasn't an official in the area that we could see on that overhead shot. Had to come from someone down the line, but I have no idea how you could see him down the line through that massive humanity. And that would have New England kicked a field goal after that possession.
Now you're at 7-7 still.
Yes.
Man.
Things that make you go.
Made me go.
Open it up to everybody at 877-99 on Fox. Any of your observations. The Super Bowl set, so clearly that's story number 1. But I don't want it to be lost in the mix that there was some great fights over the weekend. And a big weekend for Dana White, Rich, especially because you had the premiere of Zuffa Boxing. And if you don't know what that is, Fox Sports, it's sort of his blueprint for the UFC for boxing. And that's on Paramount Plus, and that premiered over the weekend. Zuffa, I think, is Italian for melee, fight, battle. So Zuffa Boxing premiered, and then you had UFC 324. And, dude, what a card. You know, I'm the boy who cried fight of the year, but you had Sugar Sean O'Malley with a huge return, and as a superstar, you needed that. He beat Song Yadong. Nice knee to the face, a nice battle. He said that actually losing his past few fights made him appreciate what winning was all about, and it brought him back to where he is right now. He hasn't felt better. And then the main event, the half-breed Vato Loco Justin Gaethje over Paddy Pimblett, that was awesome, dude. Like, honestly, if you missed that fight, you really missed out. I know this was a big football conference championship weekend, but we have a new interim lightweight champion in Justin Gaethje, but an all-out battle because Paddy the Baddy was in the fight the whole time. He never gave up. So if you missed it, it's definitely worth the rematch. And just seeing that it was such a big weekend for Dana White and seeing what he does for UFC, wondering if he could do the same for boxing, makes me go,
I'm going to give you something else that makes me go, and then we'll go to Dan Byer for an update, and I want to discuss this. Now, it is already, in my opinion, jumped the shark.
I know where you're going. You're going Pro Bowl?
Yo, I mean, like, do we just take away the name, change what it's about, or do something? Because someone made the Pro Bowl as a substitution.
Just call it like NFL Celebration Weekend.
Like Party Time Weekend NFL.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
Pro Bowl next Tuesday, someone's been added. And at first I thought it was like a joke. And I'm like, and Danny's like, it's not a joke. So we'll do that right after DB gives you an update. What's up, Dan Byer?
Yes, you talking the Pro Bowl game. Shedeur Sanders named as the replacement for Drake May on the AFC roster. Jared Goff, the replacement for Sam Darnold on the NFC roster. Tons of coaching news. They're all kind of connected in one way or another. Davis Webb, the Broncos quarterbacks coach and passing coordinator, met with the Bills today for their head coaching job. Webb also in the mix for vacancies, as is Rams pass game coordinator Nate Scheelhaase. He's interviewing for the Browns job for the second time today. Scheelhaase expected to meet with the Bills. Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady is interviewed with the Raiders for the second time for their head coaching vacancy. Mike McDaniels officially signed his deal with the Chargers. Phillip Rivers no longer a candidate in Buffalo. Grant Udinski, the OC with the Jaguars, withdrew his name from consideration in Cleveland. He will either get the Bills job or go to Jacksonville and get a new deal from the Jaguars. Mike LaFleur, Rams offensive coordinator, meeting with the Cardinals. Cardinals also meeting for the second time with former Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. Hawks beat the Pacers in day hoops, 132-116. Hornets routed the Sixers, 130-93. Outfielder Harrison Bader to the Giants on a 2-year deal. Guys, back to you.
No, thank you, DB. Dan Byer. And you heard Dan Byer say it. So start thinking about your thoughts. How and should the NFL rebrand the Pro Bowl if you're going to name Shedeur Sanders a Pro Bowler? 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
1 and 2, right? Wasn't his only win against the Raiders?
A QBR rating of 68. You can't. It's like, Covino, when we go to Super Bowl in San Francisco in a week and we interview people, Covino will be like, here he is, 4-time Pro Bowler and this, that. And that's part of someone's credentials.
Yeah, you're padding the resume, and I think that's probably why Goff deserving of it, but you do that and you take those honors. But this one just doesn't even make sense. The Browns were 5-12. Shedeur barely started, didn't play all that well. I mean, is he a big name? I think he's riding on the name in itself. Does he have all the potential in the world? Maybe, probably. Not trying to hate on the guy. Just stayed on the guy that he had 1 win the whole year.
All right,
so
we'll
your
discuss
thoughts on that?
Yeah, we'll discuss next right here. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
What a joke.
history of the world has a Michael fell short to a Sean?
Because it's the battle of Michaels versus Sean's this weekend, and that's a first.
You got Mike Vrabel versus Sean Payton. You got Mike McDonald versus Sean McVay. And when you go back in history, sports, entertainment, everything, when you match up a Sean and a Michael, you know who comes out on top every time? The Michael. You want to go over this?
Can I just give you one reason as to why Sean will never win? Because they can't even decide on how to spell the name. How many Seans are we friends with? And each one of them spells their name different. Is it Seen? Is it S-H-A-U-N? S-H-A-W-N? Choose one. It's confusing.
I'll be honest. I think when I think of the Seans we know.
Yeah, all three of them are different.
Our buddy Sean Riley, our buddy Sean Wyman, my buddy Sean Cullen, like all the Seans I know.
Sean the lawyer.
S-E-A-N.
It's like, come on, guys. You can't even decide on that. You think you're going to win?
I don't want to insult some Seans, but if you're a Scene, get the fuck out of here. It's like when a Steven is a PH. And I know you're not a Steve with a PH.
No, PH is for losers.
You know what it's like? It's like my wife, Sarah. No H. Sarah with H's, as Jimmy Fallon once said, are ill.
But you know what? I think you and I disagree. I think it's whatever you were introduced to as a schoolboy. And for me, Sean is S-E-A-N.
Makes no sense. There's nothing sensical.
What, number one for you?
All right, I'm gonna go Sean with a UN. That's the most common.
So it's Mike's versus Sean's, and throughout history, Mike is always on top.
All right, let's kick it and start it with TV in the '80s, movies in the '80s. Would you ever say that? I couldn't even think like Sean Penn or Michael J. Fox.
Well, I don't think anyone dominated '80s TV and '80s movies like Michael J. Fox, a true legend, a true hero, a true treasure.
That was my weakest comparison, by the way. Because I couldn't think of a Sean in the 80s. But yeah, Sean Penn was big.
Well, Sean Penn was huge movie star.
They
but
were also in a movie together. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, I did. Yes. Casualties of War. But I think when you talk to like who's here in your corazon from the 80s, it's Michael J. Fox.
I mean, we grew up in a world of Michael, so let's keep it moving. In basketball, we've seen them face each other in big games, big moments. Who won, Covino? Michael Jordan or Sean Kemp? By the way, he's a Sean with a W, just to prove. They can't even make up their fucking mind.
Michael the GOAT Jordan.
How about this one? Not in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
But in the wrestling ring, you know who knocked out Shawn Michaels? Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Well, Shawn Michaels is right there in the middle. He's both. Yeah. But it makes me think of the Michael trifecta that we grew up admiring.
Well,
Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, and
Michael Jackson. Who, when you think about Michael Jackson, let's throw another star musician that's had questionable personal life stuff. Sean P. Diddy Combs.
I'll take Michael Jackson for the win any day, anytime. Yeah, two controversial musicians and celebrities, but Michael Jackson is still the guy regardless.
Look at those two buffoons.
And we said there's the Michael trifecta, right? Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael J. Fox. You can't say the same for Sean's. There's not three Sean's that come to mind.
I mean, my favorite isn't even in this. So Sean William Scott.
I love him. But based on this theory, guys, there's no way Sean's are beating Mike this weekend.
I got one more. You want to talk Olympics?
Sure.
Who's the most decorated swimmer of all time?
Most decorated swimmer.
No, not your favorite diver. Don't think that's Greg Louganis.
Michael Phelps. Say Thornton Mellon. Oh, Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps. But then there's Shaun White, who's great, but he's not Michael Phelps. He's won in the Winter Games, but Phelps
Michael Phelps is an Olympic GOAT.
So far I'm looking at it and we're like 6-0 Michaels.
I will say there's some greatness in the world of Sean's, but Mike is still up top.
There's not a song I want to be like Sean, is there?
No, I'd like to be like Mike.
Sometimes I dream that he's me. No one says like Sean. I want to be like Sean.
No. So based on that, there you have it, man.
So that would then say your prediction of Seahawks, Michael McDonald versus Mike Vrabel.
Don't say Michael McDonald because you make me think of the Doobie Brother. What a fool believes.
Maybe that's
So,
why
yeah.
he goes by Mike.
Yes, yes. Man, Seattle sounded like a Pearl Jam concert this weekend, according to Tom Brady. Steve Covino, more of a Nirvana kind of guy. More of an Alice in Chains kind of dude. Soundgarden for the win. Hey, I'm Covino. That is Rich. It's Fox Sports Radio. We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And before we get into our Tire Rack play of the day, I got to say, again, congrats to the Mikes. A big weekend for the Mikes, Vrabel and McDonald, not to be confused with the Doobie brother. But we called it Mike's never lose to Sean's.
They don't.
The Super Bowl set. And the only big win for Sean this weekend was Sugar Sean O'Malley. And I'm going to say it one last time, Rich. UFC 324, what a battle. What a fight. Patty the Batty, even in a loss, fought his heart out. I mean, he clearly got beat. Gaethje beat his ass. And he's the new champ, interim champ. But man, if you missed it, I'm telling you, it's worth the watch. So we had great football. We had some great fights, and now it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day.
That
Sam
is
Darnold.
Yeah, Sammy D.
Sammy D.
Sam, Ginger Jesus hit JSN for a big first down in the fourth quarter.
Now motion, Shaheed across the formation, play fake. Sam's got to scramble, he does. Throws the ball on the run. First down, JSN. Gets knocked out of bounds. Unfortunately, that's going to stop the clock, but it is a first down. His 10th catch of the game for 15 yards.
Explosive.
And that was courtesy of Seahawks Radio Network, our Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Now, Dan Byer, has it ever dawned on you that Mike McDonald probably doesn't go by Michael because he doesn't want to be confused?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, but, we thought about that the other day because I accidentally called him Michael McDonald, and I'm like, that just sounded wrong and weird. But his name is Michael McDonald.
That is correct.
So he grew up his whole life, much like in Office Space, the guy that was Michael Bolton.
Yeah, but Michael McDonald is,
Got a voice of an angel.
Celebrate his
Most
entire
buttery
catalog.
Creamier voice maybe than Danny G. I don't know, because Danny G can't hit that falsetto. But we're now talking about, there's a few stories that involve the Browns and their coaching situation we'll get to later. We'll talk about the worst interview process you ever had. But Shedeur Sanders has been named to the Pro Bowl. So is this a joke to you? The feedback we're getting now on the live chat, Rich, is really funny. Covino and Rich FSR. Manny Munoz says, what's worse, the Pro Bowl or the NBA All-Star Game? That's a question in itself. But Kenneth says it pretty much goes down to the guy who didn't already have something planned that day. And, we can't blame Shedeur Sanders for anything. You wouldn't take it if someone gave it to you?
I mean,
because
yeah,
it goes on the resume.
Yes, but the NBA All-Star Game at least names the right people for the most part. I feel like this is ridiculous. In the past, there have been times where a guy gets a Pro Bowl nod, and you're like, man, did he really deserve it? It's questionable. This
yeah,
to me
NBA
is like,
players make it on names sometimes,
Yeah,
and Shedeur Sanders might not have earned the name, but he's got the name.
I don't care. Stop saying the name. I mean, because his dad was great. He was. If you were to say 32 teams in the NFL, he's a bottom 5 quarterback. How on earth is that a Pro Bowl nod? That's insane.
I'm not disagreeing with you. He didn't prove to be a Pro Bowler this year or earn that in any way, shape, or form. There's no question about it. I'm saying popularity
but fans don't vote.
I know that, but we do see other All-Star games where it's just based on popularity and they get in, and that's clearly why he's there, why he was even, I guess, an option here. And
well, you got to look.
It.
You got to look at it like the NFL needs to call this, a weekend fan celebration, fan fest or something, because you can't say
it's the NFL
best
fan
of
fest.
the best of the best. That's just you've lost it now. You've lost the point of this whole thing. The whole point was the best of the best play each other. Then they went from that to something else. Now it's just, we're trying to just make money off of some weekend of festivities. It's not a Pro Bowl anymore. Come on. But that's not the weirdest thing that happened with the Browns. And we'll get to that next. More Covino and Rich right here on Fox Sports Radio.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture. We talk about sports. We talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
The Buffalo Bills are still looking for a head coach. It will not be Phillip Rivers. The recently unretired quarterback withdrew his name from consideration in Buffalo. Now, the Bills did interview Broncos quarterbacks coach and passing game coordinator Davis Webb for their head coaching job today. Webb also expected to meet with the Raiders. Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders has been named to the AFC Pro Bowl games roster, replacing Patriots quarterback Drake May. That's according to Jordan Schultz. Now, the Browns are looking for a head coach. They're set to interview Rams passing game coordinator Nate Scheelhaase for the second time today. He's also expected to meet with the Bills tonight. Outfielder Harrison Bader has signed a 2-year deal with the San Francisco Giants. It's worth more than $20 million, according to The Athletic. Hawks beat the Pacers 132-116. Another afternoon NBA game had the Hornets running the Sixers 130-93. Arizona, a unanimous number 1 in the AP Top 25 College Hoops poll. I'm Dan Beyer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Monday.
Live from the East Coast to the West Coast, welcoming everybody in between. Covino and Rich, hope you had a great weekend. Pats, Seahawks, Gaethje, Zuffa, Snowmageddon, stayed safe sort of weekend. Shout out to Raptor in New Mexico, Mark James, Smelly, Michelle M., Wes, Steve Lopez, Matt, Timbo Slice, everybody chiming in on the live chat, Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube.
Did you run some errands this morning? Did you get your bread and milk?
Got my bread and milk.
Bread and milk.
Shout out to Vic DiBattista, broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, Covino and Rich, and we be rocking out.
Bread and milk.
Live from the snowy Jersey, I'm Steve Covino, that is Rich Davis, and our show sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. What's up, Rich?
No, I was going to say, not only bread and milk, did you see there was a huge influx of people buying marijuana from shops on the East Coast? They were saying that, like, spikes. People just saying, I guess if I'm stuck home, they're going to get high. Did you see this or no?
Yeah, and dude wipes just in case,
And dude
right?
wipes just in case. Gotta get the bread and milk. Oh,
DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA, and right now use promo code CRSHOW to claim your special offer at DraftKings. Again, promo code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
And your next success could begin sooner than you think. Apply now and save. No application fee through February 11th. University of Maryland Global Campus. This new year, put your goals within reach at an accredited state university. Learn more at umgc.edu. Now, for all the people underneath the snow on the East Coast and the Midwest, I see this hack on social media, and tell me how this could go wrong, because it looks smart. Have you seen more and more people putting, like, a big blue tarp on their front porch and over their car, and in the morning they just wake up
pull it.
They just pull it, and they're like, their front stoop doesn't have ice or snow, and their car is perfectly clean. Why has no one ever thought of this? Like, it seems so obvious.
It's a hack that I think originated with the pets, because if you have a dog and you're trying to take it out, it's so used to that patch of grass. People leave a tarp or some sort of mat and then unveil it so that that grass is clean for the pets to go pee-pee in, right? So I think the same rules apply for the car, and they're just switching it up and working smarter, not harder.
And how long until we're done shoveling snow? Like, Are we almost to the point? If there's little robots that deliver stuff, and there's Waymo self-driving cars, and I'm still scared to get in, by the way, it's only a matter of time before you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're like, yeah, a self-shoveling robot, $500. It's got to be, right? I mean,
you see, so robots are stealing jobs from teenage kids is what you're saying? That's next?
And then the other question is, what's the going rate? I don't know about you, Dan Beyer. You grew up in a snowy place. Danny G, you were out here in L.A. You were up in Northern Cal. You don't count. Where it snowed, that was like my income at times. Like, I would go around the neighborhood trying to shovel people's walkways and driveways. Back then, the going rate was $20. What do you think you'd have to pay a kid now to shovel a big-ass driveway?
At least 60.
That's probably
50?
Yeah.
60, I think.
Well,
that's including tip.
Back then, it was 10 or 20. If it was a short little, old lady's walkway.
If you are, and we're not talking about suburbia, we're talking kind of city where neighbors are relatively close. I still think $20 is sufficient because it probably would take you about 15 to 20 minutes. If you had to do someone's walkway, the side walkways and sidewalks, it's probably a pretty good going rate.
That's how I would buy all my video games. I would stop, snowstorm.
I'll tell you what,
I was out there
man,
at 8 a.m. like, let's go.
It's like what you give a kid for a birthday party. It used to be $20. Now that going rate is like $40 to $50. And if they're having it at a bowling alley or a different venue, it might be $60 to $100. I think it's a little more than double than what it used to be. And I'll tell you what, Rich, if we have time this hour, because we got last one standing, we're giving away prizes. We still got to talk about colleges and STDs and more football.
Whoa.
If we have time, things you thought you'd never do again, because I actually had to shovel. Talk about the weakest timing. I'm out here for work and meetings and to see family, and, my parents are 70s. I can't say I took the brunt of it, but me and my brother had to shovel today, and I thought I wouldn't be doing that again now that we live in California.
Wouldn't you be a piece of garbage if you made your boomer parents shovel their own walk?
Yeah,
I'm here
I never
visiting.
shoveled. I didn't shovel when I lived here with them.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad, go outside and shovel. If you die, you die, I guess. Like, what are you going to do? Your dad's in his 70s.
And what if I die? How about me? So anyway, we'll try to get to that later on. But your next success can begin sooner than you think. Apply now and save with no application fee through February 11th. Again, thanks again to umgc.edu. And let's continue taking your phone calls at 877-99 on Fox. We got to talk Browns.
Yeah, the Browns.
We got to talk Pro Bowl.
The Browns. Oh, the Browns. I was saying, any thoughts? Did you run the snow shoveling circuit in Iowa?
Oh, absolutely. I would be the guy to do our driveway.
I was seasonal, man. That's how I was a little hustler. I was trying to buy Nintendo games and baseball cards. I shoveled snow. I raked leaves. I washed cars. Like, I was.
Now the only hustle Rich does is the dance. That's it.
No, I'm trying to learn the Dougie on Instagram. Day 18 of me learning the Dougie.
I actually found audio of Steve Covino's dad yelling at his sons.
I thought I told you boys to shovel the rock.
Wow. Can't believe I had that in the system.
Can't believe it.
That's going way back.
The weakest, honestly. Thank God my brother did most of it, but I did have to do that today. And, so did most people around the country. So hopefully you guys are safe and enjoyed the weekend. And you did have that snowed-in feeling where you got to watch the games and just chill out and enjoy it, and maybe some of the fights. Maybe watched a special or two. Yeah.
Before we get to the Cleveland Browns, who, are proving time and time again they're one of the more embarrassing organizations in sports, right?
Their starting quarterback's a Pro Bowler.
It's true. I did a lot of people chiming in on the in-show about the cost of a kid's birthday party now. Where you're right, it used to be throw $20 in an envelope, but if they have their party at a bowling alley or a slime party or some place, at a Sky Zone, you gotta like throw a kid $40-$50.
Easy. It's usually $40-$50 every birthday party my kid goes to nowadays.
What are those things in life that you're just shocked that have gotten so increasingly expensive? I remember when you and I first started doing our show.
Dude, just how about leaving the house? It's like every day is $100 plus between, God forbid, you got to make a gas run. Make a gas run and you buy some bread and milk. You buy a sandwich. Everything's at airport prices nowadays.
Yeah,
your lunch costs you $30.
I thought of something as simple as, God bless them, Subway sandwiches. I remember you and I used to go in New York City all the time. I remember they always had that $5 footlong commercial. They had CC Sabathia. They had
that song had a sweet bass line.
$5. In the time you and I have done the show and we've been friends, we used to go get $5 Subway sandwiches here and there. I went to Subway with my kid a couple weeks ago. She's like, Dad, I want a sandwich. It was like $15 for a footlong sandwich.
Dude, when I take my daughter after school, your kid will go, can we go to Starbucks or can we go to Chick-fil-A? Right? And kids love Cane's and love just making a quick stop. That quick trip to Chick-fil-A just because my kid has a hankering for something to eat after school, just to hold her over to dinner time is like an $18 cost a few times a week.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, just an 8-piece nugget with a fry and a drink is $18. Again, we're in L.A. It's probably different everywhere. So, yeah, just stepping out of the house isn't cheap. So if your kids are going out to shovel or you have some kids stopping by, $20 ain't cutting it, dude, because it ain't getting them anything.
When you travel, we're going to San Francisco for the Super Bowl. When you used to check a bag in an airport, again, I know time is passing, but do you remember the standard was like $20, $25 to check a bag? That so quickly became like $40. I mean, not that we're paying. We're on the company dime on this one, but when you check a bag on your own, aren't you like $40, huh? $40 or $50 to check a bag. You ain't kidding, huh? Really? Okay.
You know what, really quick, you want to talk price increases. How about parking at a sporting event or at a concert? I mean, that used to be, what, $30, $35, and you're like, okay, I got that in the budget. Now, it could cost the same amount as your ticket to get into the show or the game.
I watched it with the fam this weekend. No, Sebastian Maniscalco in his latest special does a whole bit on that. He goes, you go to the amusement park or whatever, and they're screaming $70 for parking. He's like, that's not something you shout. You apologize to somebody for charging that much money for parking.
Yeah. And by the way, if you go to SoFi out here, if you could find 70, good luck. We went to a couple years back. I went with my wife and a couple of you guys went to go see Stevie Nicks and Billy Joel at SoFi. I think the deal I got, when I say deal's like you have to walk extra, like a little far away.
Off-site parking, yeah.
Off-site, it was like $85, and that was like the deal. Like, well, we got a deal, guys, $85 to park. I got one more, and then we'll move on to football. But if we're venting about pricing, if you go out for a nice steak dinner, then again, who doesn't like a nice steak dinner? When you
somebody,
think,
Rich, post that on social media, you'll get a few people telling you that
vegans
not that great.
I'll be honest. There'll be one person that's like, steak? No way.
Vegetarians, vegans, yeah.
I feel bloated after. Not a fan.
Spot, you and I have known each other for years, but picture me, you, and Covino maybe 5, 10, 20 years ago going out for a steak dinner. Don't you feel like the way overpriced filet or ribeye used to be $40, $45?
Yeah, 40 was like
40 was like, ooh, you're at a nice steakhouse. 45, you go to Del Frisco's, or maybe you go to
45, maybe.
You go to Mastro's, or like the really
for a 8 to 12 ounce filet.
Yeah,
even a Ruth's Chris, their prices were similar.
Ruth's Chris was like $38 to $45. And
maybe a little less.
Yeah. You go to like a Vegas or New York City or LA steakhouse now, $70, $80 for a steak.
$75 easy. It's like, for an 8 ounce.
Like double. Yeah. Like we're talking
it's
double.
100 a person, at this point.
Oh, anyway, I digress. Enough venting, but
I digest.
I just hey, if you're trying to
$100 for your entree.
And that'll be $94.
Thank you, Sam. All right, let's turn the page to the Cleveland Browns. Now, if I were to ask you, of all the coaching carousel jobs we've talked about, Dan Byer's been busy because I feel like every day over the last week or so, there's been this coordinator, that coordinator, this head coaching job, this guy's interviewing. Dan Byer's.
Did Dan Byer ever give us the timestamp of who congratulated him first on the big Seahawks win over the weekend?
I did not.
Because I'm dying to know how quick Rich was to the jump just to get the bragging
I
right.
let it breathe. I wanted to let him.
You had to let it breathe. Yeah, I think that's part of the etiquette.
This is Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
Rich Davis, 7:01. Steve Covino, 6:54.
Wow.
7-minute gap.
I would argue.
I
would argue you didn't let it breathe.
I did let it breathe. I'm like, all right, let him celebrate a little bit, high five his kid,
man.
Give him a hug, kiss his wife, jump around a little bit. I wait a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Because I know he said on Friday when we were making our picks that he doesn't touch his phone is away. He doesn't look at his phone, touch his phone.
Yeah.
So you got to give him a chance to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe he paused the game, which I wasn't really factoring that much into because I imagine he's on the edge of his seat. But you never know where they are in the game.
It's a wild phenomenon. When you are a fan of a team and your friends and family, and especially Dan Byer, who, big in the sports world, when people know your team, I do find it sort of funny how when your team wins, we all get congratulatory messages as if we did something.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I like
Super
it.
Bowl,
no,
dude.
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. But I'm saying, Danny, if the Raiders win a big game or the Dodgers or Lakers, isn't it funny how like people like, congrats, Danny, like you did
They
anything.
should, though. I paid for season tickets in Oakland for 10 years.
I do find that
some of that's my money.
I do find like Dan Byer probably just had all these congrats messages, and it is funny because he's a big fan, he's a sports guy, but it is funny how we get messages as fans.
It also, I would say, like if you were, let's just say I lived in Seattle or was a native, I'm sure fans are sending texts to each other, but I think it's because we're remote, and so we live in a spot that we aren't necessarily from or where the team is from, so there's a lot of different fandoms, so it's easier to point out, Rich is a Mets fan, Covino's a Yankees fan, Danny's a Raiders fan.
It is funny, though, because you are so identified in your circles of friends by those things, so when your team wins, it is a cool feeling. You look at your phone, you're like, man, I got a ton of messages, and it's like all the randoms from work, and like, congrats, man, like, yeah, I worked really hard on this one. So, congrats to you,
he
Dan
rooted
Byer.
all season.
He rooted hard. He rooted hard. Now, we talked about the Cleveland Browns. Now, all these coaching carousel moves, who's going where, who's taking what job. We talked about the appealing ones. Harbaugh jumped on the Giants one. For all we know, he would have stuck around for the Bills one had it happened earlier. Bills, hot job opening. Danny G, your Raiders with Tom Brady at the helm, and it seems like Mark Davis gives some power to who it is, and you got Mendoza lined up. You have Brock Bowers. You have Genti. You just need some pieces. That, to me, is an appealing opening. I think Miami, I know they made their decision.
Las Vegas as a city
but I thought
be
just
appealing.
Miami as just a destination, as a place to live. I know that was taken by Green Bay's defensive coordinator, correct? So these openings, and they're being filled, and the coaching carousel continues. From what we're reading, the Cleveland Browns, which we all agreed was one of the positions that doesn't feel that appealing. Like, going to Cleveland, no offense, Cleveland, that itself is like, all right, I'm going to Cleveland.
Fun times in Cleveland again.
Cleveland!
There's jingles on YouTube that we've been singing for 20 years that just paint the most terrible picture of Cleveland.
And I'm sure it's the lovely city.
I mean, we've had fun times out there.
Let me read this message that we saw on social media. Danny G hit us up with this one. Cleveland, which, again, and you're not even sure what you're doing at quarterback. You're not sure if Shador's the guy. You still have Deshaun Watson technically on the roster. You don't know what's next for Cleveland. There's so much uncertainty. It's like you have Myles Garrett and the rest is like, what now? And
they're facing lots of criticism.
And a decent defense. The Browns, get this, are facing criticism for their unusual head coaching hiring process. Candidates are being asked to take personality tests, write essays, and complete homework assignments, something no other team requires per NFL's Tom Pelissero. Pelissero notes this may be why top candidates like Jesse Minter, Mike McDaniel, and others have pulled out of wanting to coach Cleveland because they're making this like a really assignment-driven, like do your homework thing. Now, I'm a big fan of going.
And there was an update, though, Rich.
Yeah.
Just a few hours ago, Jags OC Grant Udinsky withdrew from the process because it's such a pain in the ass and not appealing.
And the thing is, I get it. You want to go into, and I'm a big advocate of going into a meeting or a presentation or anything prepared. Know where they went to college, know if they're married, know what their sports alliance is. I feel like these things help you along in personal and social and work settings.
Do they have kids?
Yeah,
anything to cheese up and schmooze about.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the Browns making an unappealing job even that much more of a pain in the ass is so Cleveland Browns to me. So we had our video producer, Spot, go into AI. Though we are robot-free at iHeart. Isn't that the slogan? What is
guaranteed
it?
Human.
Guaranteed. We are guaranteed humans, everybody.
ChatGPT is a very good tool.
I'm a human being. But our video guy, Spot, put into AI an essay if he were to apply for the Cleveland Browns job, and it's amazing what comes up.
I think I may get the job.
Spot, can you read a
If
paragraph?
You're the only guy applying.
If everyone's backing out, let me tell you.
Spot, apply with this essay.
All right,
Can you read everyone a quick
let's
paragraph?
see. Ready? Okay,
Yeah.
here's what I got. The Cleveland Browns are a franchise defined by resilience, loyalty, and unfinished business.
Ooh.
Few teams in professional sports carry a fan base as passionate or as patient.
That's true.
And that reality demands leadership that understands pressure, accountability, and culture as much as play calling. I believe I am the right coach for the Cleveland Browns because I bring clarity, credibility, and a people-first approach to an organization ready to turn belief into sustained success.
Wow, Spot, I think you got the job.
I could go on. It's incredible.
Give me one more line.
Let me just give you my summation.
So what I'm saying is coaching candidates, just throw it into AI and send it off.
The Browns are not searching for a miracle. They are searching for leadership that aligns talent, culture, and accountability. I, Spot, am prepared to lead that alignment. With the right structure, belief, and commitment, the Cleveland Browns can move from promise to permanence, and I am ready to coach that transformation. Me, Spot.
That's some good alliteration in there.
Thank you.
That's a great essay, Spot.
If you're a kid in school, how do you ever do homework again? This is the demise of society. AI just gave you an essay that would get you the Cleveland Browns coaching job.
That's all you need.
Good luck asking a kid to read, who jostled the limb again?
Phineas
and
a separate piece.
Separate piece, yeah. Good luck reading books and doing book reports. Popping an AI, we're doomed. Sam nods his head every time we do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is a anti-AI guy, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing it unfold right in front of us.
So
you know what it is? It's like
people
when
are
you're
barely
dating,
literate.
and I say this respectfully, okay? But when you're dating like a pretty average person and they have all these like unrealistic demands, it's like you're really not that awesome to be barking all these orders.
Oh, you ever see like a fat girl on TikTok talking about what she demands out of a man? It's like he needs to make 6 figures. He needs to do this. He needs to have this big package in his
That's how
pants.
this feels. Yeah, it's like, come on, Cleveland.
The Cleveland
just
Browns-
be happy
No,
you're getting some qualified
please.
people.
No, the Cleveland Browns
Stop
are
making it so difficult.
Yo, Covino, high five, bro. Cleveland Browns are the fat chick that's like, I need a guy that makes 6 figures, has a big package, and he's 6 feet tall.
With analogies like that, you may need my essay, Rich.
Now, some people, right, and some organizations have to take what they can get and just do their best. They're making it way too difficult, and they're going to lose out on a lot of quality people as a result. I mean, and if you don't believe us, just listen to the update. So many people are backing out because of these demands.
Can't say fat girls anymore? Is that what you're getting at?
No comment.
No comment. Okay.
I'm not tying myself to that.
I'm
that
not
was all
getting involved with you,
Spot.
Rich Davis.
I was just reading a statement that Spot put into AI. Sorry. All right. Hey, listen, we have more Covino and Rich. You know what we're going to do next? A game that gets Covino nervous, a game that gets us all nervous. Dan Byers here, so the challenge is to beat his ass. I mean, he's already won this weekend with the Seahawks. Last one standing. This is the game that sweeps the nation. We are put to the test. There's a clock involved. It's nerve-wracking. And you can win a prize. So if you want to play, 877-99 on Fox. We do it next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Are you facing hiring headaches, Rich Davis headaches? Staffing your business is complex.
Oh, it
High
is.
turnover, skills gaps, and ever-changing regulations can slow growth and drain resources. That's where Express Employment Pros comes in.
With decades of staffing expertise, Express connects you with a larger pool of qualified candidates, helping you reduce turnover and build the right size workforce. Get started at expresspros.com.
Maybe the Browns should start here since everybody's dropping out.
Yeah.
Need to flex your staff for peak season or special projects? Express Employment Professionals offers contract staffing so you can scale up or down with ease, preventing burnout and boosting productivity.
Worried about compliance? Express stays on top of ever-changing employment laws, so you're on top of that stuff. Express also recognized for excellence. They win awards. They got the clearly rated Best of Staffing Client and Talent Award. They got the Diamond Award for client satisfaction. So don't let hiring challenges hold your business back. Visit expresspros.com, find the local office near you, and discover how Express Employment Professionals can help you hire smarter and faster.
If hiring is taking you away from growing your business, get the support you need from Express. Don't spend your time weeding through spam online applicants. Hire faster with Express. Express Employment Professionals, building your workforce, supporting your success.
Dan Byer and Monty Bolaños filled in for us a couple days. I invited all you ass clowns. I said, do you guys want to watch the 49ers Seahawks? I'll order food on me. Let's go. And apparently Dan Byer talked about this on our show when he was filling in. Take a listen.
Rich says, guys, Saturday night, Seahawks 49ers, my place, 5:30. Come on over, watch the game. Dan, there's going to be a Seahawks fan here. Come on by. There is no way that would be able to go to that party.
Absolutely not.
It is. I am not going into a 49ers house. I also am, I want to watch the game by myself sort of guy. So even though there would be another Seahawks fan there, there's no way that I could go over to this party. I appreciate the invite, and I think Rich is all welcoming. I can't believe Rich is going to have another Seahawks fan at his house for a get-together. I would not have blamed him for not inviting me, but Monty, there is no way that I would want to watch the game with someone else or multiple other people who are probably closer to Rich that are saying, well, I want the 49ers. That's Rich's team. There's no way I'd be watching that game with them on Saturday night.
And he responded with that respectfully.
Yeah,
that's sort of what he said in the group message.
He texted me like respectfully, I'd rather watch the game with anyone on the planet other than you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't want to talk.
He said, thanks for the invite, but I can't.
I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I just know that Dan's a respectful fan. So I feel like I could have watched it with Dan. Like our buddy Wes in Vegas watched the game with us. He's a Seahawks fan, and it was respectful. I've told one of my Eagle fan friends, remember our buddy Steve? We have an Eagles fan who I told, like, yeah, I don't want to watch you because you're going to bother me. And he said I was a big wuss, and he got all mad about it. Because remember, I had the stance, and I blamed it on my kids. Like, yeah, you're going to upset my kids.
Yeah, that was a weird sort of way to
I was like, yeah, my kids are all
tell
pumped.
them no.
My kids are all pumped to watch a game. I don't want, my kids don't get it. You'll be rooting against the team we want. I'm like,
you
yeah.
should have just told them no. I don't know. For you to blame it on your kids, that is weird. But, yeah, I think you assess the situation. The Eagles fan that Rich talks about, I could see him being annoying during the game.
He's obnoxious.
I don't see Rich and Dan and our buddy Wes being obnoxious with each other. You have to know the company. But I actually agree with Dan Beyer here. I'm surprised that you invited a Seahawks fan, multiple Seahawks fans. They were nice ones, though. I understand your thinking. But I'm with Dan. Like, big games like this, I don't want any distractions and any people bothering me. I actually see his point, and I think he bowed out respectfully, and I think he did it the right way.
He did it. Listen, I respect it. But if you want to chime in, we'll take your feedback. We're going to play a game next, but if you want to chime in, at Covino Rich.
Watching the big game alone or with mixed company is really what it comes down to.
It's not even alone. I think the mixed company is the part of it, meaning I think if you're like Covino, one time
he did say alone, though.
You and I watched a Yankees playoff game once. I'm not a Yankees fan, but I was, I'm a Mets fan, so I had no horse in the race. But there was a big Red Sox-Yankees game. And I remember someone brought a Red Sox fan.
It was my sister's boyfriend, Luis, at the time.
Yeah, but
he came in there with a Red Sox jersey, ruined the whole vibe. I wanted to karate kick him in the chest, and I liked the kid. But he started rooting for the Red Sox and
in your
being
house.
A jerk about it in our house, and it's a house full of Yankees fans. And he sort of leaned into that fun, and it was maybe fun for him, but it wasn't like fun for anybody else.
I told you about a year. Do you remember when the 49ers beat the Lions in the NFC Championship a couple years ago? One of the moms at the school was over the house. Like, we invited some of the parents over, and this woman who had no love of the Lions, she was just rooting for the Lions because she was like, yeah, I guess I want to root for them. I'm like, yeah, but you're in a Niners fan house? So when she was like, yeah, Jared Goff, I told my wife, shut her up or tell her to leave our home.
Yeah, zip it there, Zippy. Especially when you're watching there. Like, if you're really invested, you're watching really tight. You're tight. And even though that person
perturbed.
Yeah, that person may be playful in the moment or whatever, but like that's not the time or place when you're on the edge of your seat, all tight like that.
When your team fails to hold the other team on third and 12, and that person does a little
you don't want to hear you don't want to hear that.
It's even hard to watch with fans of your own team sometimes because it depends what kind of fan they are. Are they positive or are they a negative fan?
Lots of snow this weekend. And I'm your informer, Steve Covino, live from Jersey. Lots of snow. I had a shovel today. I haven't done that in 25 years.
By the way, good luck doing this song at karaoke.
Licky Boom Boom Down. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Thanks again to TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And have you ever wiped with a piece of dry TP and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. Switch to life-changing, extra-large, flushable Dude Wipes because wetter just cleans better. Available on Amazon and all major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, pants down. Know what it's time for?
Yep, I do. We do it every Monday.
Last one standing. Come on.
You have 5 seconds to battle for your sports trivia life.
Man. I don't got it.
Put your electronic devices down and pick your sports knowledge. It's CNR's last one standing.
Last one standing.
I got to give a shout out before Danny G takes over to Gabe on our in-show YouTube chat. He said, I said it, so he said, you don't have to worry about you saying it. I'll say it. He said, guys, the Cleveland Browns are the torta of the NFL with all these demands. What are we doing?
Yeah, but tortas are in high demand depending on the person.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. All right, let's get into this.
You had to go back to it.
I had to.
Exactly.
Yeah, Rich couldn't let it go.
What's up, Gabe?
And triple down on it. All right, I have 4. Yeah.
Wow.
4 categories. 3 helpings of it. Thank you, Rich.
Man.
I have 4 categories ready to go if needed. A tiebreaker. Each contestant gets 5 seconds to stay alive in the round. If you run out of time or answer incorrectly, Iowa Sam will take you out with his buzzer.
No.
Do not want to hear that.
Stop it.
All right, we keep battling until you are the last one standing. If you win 2 of the rounds, you're the top dog. Here are the contestants. 12-time winner Steve Covino.
Hey.
Live in Jersey right now.
Jersey.
In Los Angeles, 18-time winner Rich Davis.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
And the champ is in the house, 38-time winner Dan Byer.
Hello.
Hey, no one's stopping this guy.
We can go to the studio lines right now to see who's playing for a CNR prize pack, a CNR mini turbo football, and a koozie. First one through was Matt in Georgia.
Matt.
Hey, Matt.
What's going on, fellas? First time winner, Matt, right here.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, boy. Matt is in South Georgia. What do you do for a living there?
I'm a sales manager for a security camera company.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
I run a telemarketing room.
Oh, nice.
All right. By the way, Spot is the fact checker during this game.
I hate it so much.
A lot of anxiety with him over there, so
The
be
worst.
patient as he checks answers. When I say your name, the clock is going to start. Here we go. Category number 1, always on top. You have 5 seconds to name an NFL player who has played in the most playoff games in league history. NFL playoff games, career leaders. All right, Covino, you are up first, starting right now. Go.
Gotta get Brady out of the way.
Yeah, number 1, 48.
Numero uno. All right, we go to Rich.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is not on my list.
Hasn't long enough yet. All right, Byer.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning is on my list with 27.
Boom. Matt.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, yep, 23.
Back to Covino.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly, not on the list.
All right, Byer.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben, yep, 23.
Matt.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, yep,
Yeah.
29.
Byer.
Dang.
Adam Vinatieri.
Yep, 32.
Nice pull.
Number 2.
Matt.
Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith, not on my list.
Oh, Byer gets that round.
Wow. Byer riding the Seahawks burst of victory.
Tough one.
Wow.
Spotty, some of the other names we might know on that list.
Let's see.
Charles Haley on the list.
Say it again.
Charles Haley on the list.
Charles Haley, no. Kelsey's on the list.
Oh. Trav.
Let's see. Elway.
Interesting.
yeah.
That makes
That's
sense.
That's an interesting list. By the way, what was the bottom? What was the cutoff as far as games played?
Was 22 was the cutoff.
Yeah,
Mahomes
we were
has
doing the top
21.
three. Yeah. Oh, you were just
my guess in the
22
first round
was
was
the
off by
cutoff.
one game.
I'm surprised, Rich, because as a 49ers guy, Jerry Rice should have came to mind immediately.
I wanted
Montana and Steve Young split
Jerry
duties
Rice
for a
on there.
while.
Could I-
so-
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I thought my first answer was like the gimme. I was like, I'll get Mahomes out of the way.
Yeah,
the
so
guy's
did I, to be honest.
17-4 in the postseason.
Yeah, there were a ton of players tied for 22.
The other thing in Rich's defense, Jerry Rice wasn't on their first 2 Super Bowl title teams.
Yeah, he was not there
So-
until he wasn't there
Yeah.
for the Dolphins one or the first Bengals one.
Correct.
So was Montana or Young on that list or no?
Montana, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Ste-
were,
And
okay.
Steve Young was the cutoff, actually.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
All right, we go to the second category, marathon miles. You have 5 seconds to name an NBA player who tops the list for most seasons played in association history. Going to take the top 25. So NBA players with the most seasons played in history. Okay, Matt, we go in reverse order, so you're going to go first starting right now. Go.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, yep, 22.
Good answer, Buyer.
LeBron James.
Number 1, 23.
Number 1, Rich. 3, 2,
Dwayne
1.
Wade.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not on the list. Sorry, Rich.
Covino.
Kareem.
Kareem, yep, 20.
Yeah, good one. Matt.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. Wait, hang on. Sorry, something happened. Not on the list.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Buyer.
Kevin Durant.
KD.
He's
No,
been playing
not on the list.
No?
Wait.
Top 25?
Not on. No.
Okay. So
That was my second guess, DV. So I would have been 0 for 3.
he must be right underneath the top
Yeah.
25 then. Covino is the last one standing in that
All
round
right.
right there.
Hell yeah. What about Vince Carter's got to be on there,
Oh,
right?
he said it already, yeah.
Oh, he said it. All right, cool. How about is Westbrook up there? Because he's been around for a while.
You
Not
throw
yet?
a lot of names at me.
There's a lot of players tied for 19
My
seasons.
next
was the
guess was
cutoff.
Duncan's
Yeah.
got to be up there.
Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Dirk. Garnett. Kobe's on there. Yeah. So a bunch of names.
Nice.
Shaq.
I'll take it.
By the way-
Let's go.
All right, so Buyer and Covino on the board. We go to the third round. Koa will be playing baseball is the name of it. You have 5 seconds to name an MLB player who is top 20 in annual salary. So the AAV category, annual salary, will take the top 20, starting with Covino right now. Go.
Aaron Judge.
At number 6 with 40 mil.
Rich.
Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker at number 2 with 60 mil.
Yes, sir. Buyer.
Mike Trout.
Trout at number 11 with 35.5 mil.
Matt.
Acuna.
What did he say?
What's that?
Arnold Acuna.
What did he say?
One more time, Matt.
Ronald Acuna.
Ronald
Acuna. Okay.
What he said, Jose Renteria.
You don't have to yell at us.
Cavilla.
Acuna Jr. not on the list. Sorry.
Sorry, Matt. All right, back to Covino.
Juan Soto at 51, I believe.
You're absolutely correct. Third on the list.
Rich.
Not Dante, but Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette at 42 million with number 4.
Buyer.
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. Is he not on my list? He's
Not
not
in
on
the
my list.
top 20?
Sorry, not in the top 20.
Covino.
Do deferred payments count here? I
Yeah.
think they do, right?
Yeah.
So Shohei's
Yeah.
at 70. He's
He would
number
be at
one.
number
Annual
one.
value,
Yep.
yeah.
Shohei Otani.
Shohei.
Rich. 3, 2.
I would imagine Bryce
One.
Harper is still somewhere on this list.
He is not.
Oh, this is Covino's W
Ah!
today. His 13th win and last one standing.
Is Bellinger top 20?
No.
He's not good. I'm
Bellinger's
glad
not
it ended
top
right
20.
there.
Let's see. Rounding off.
No Mookie or Freddie because those guys
No.
are the under.
They moved down the list.
Let's see. You had Wheeler at 5.
Oh, Zach Wheeler.
42
yeah.
mil.
You know what I was going to say? I was going to say one of the Mets deals, but they're expired now. Like, remember when they signed Verlander and Scherzer for like 40-something each? But those are expired deals. Those don't count anymore.
Let's see. You had DeGrom at 37 million. Garrett Cole at 36 million. That's
Cole,
the-
I had Cole written down, but I was going Bellinger
Blake
first.
Snell at number 8. He had 36.4
Blake Snell.
million. So that rounds up. Rounds out the
Snell's a
top
good
10.
one.
All right. Well, Matt in Georgia, we appreciate you listening and playing the game.
Thanks for letting me hear.
Hey, later, buddy. Enjoy.
Who do you think you are? I am. Yeah.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Start your day by shoveling snow. End your day by winning last one standing.
I hope
Hey,
you
dude,
slip.
that's always an honor. It's always an honor.
I hope you slip
I
on the
did.
ice. I hope you slip on your ass on the ice.
Thanks. Appreciate it. You know what we still have to do? We still have to get to the top 20. Danny G found a list as our executive producer. He's like, yo, man, we got another game we might want to play if we have time, Rich, because we still got people calling in
Yeah, of
about
course.
the worst interview situation a la the Browns. But there's a list of the top 20 colleges with the highest STD rates. And he wants to see what our guesses are for that, and he's going to, give off the top 5 or whatever.
Okay. All right. So we'll talk. Hey, this is great, guys. We'll talk STDs and colleges coming up, and
And more foosball.
And no, I do want to continue that Cleveland Browns conversation for a second, but let's go to Dan Byer for an update. DB, anything doing? What's up, man?
Yeah, the bunch going on in terms of the coaching circles in the NFL. We'll get to that in a sec, but Shedeur Sanders has been named as Drake May's replacement on the AFC roster for the Pro Bowl game. So the Browns rookie gets that nod. Lions quarterback Jared Goff replacing Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold on the NFC roster. Here's some of your coaching news from today. The Athletics' Diana Rossini saying Phillip Rivers has withdrawn his name from consideration for the Bills' head coaching vacancy. Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski withdrew his name from consideration for the Browns' head coaching job. Now, Rams passing game coordinator Nate Schillhouse is getting a second interview with the Browns and has an interview scheduled tonight with Buffalo. Bills spoke with Broncos quarterbacks coach Davis Webb today, and he'll meet with the Raiders tonight. Raiders met with Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady earlier today. Cardinals speaking with Rams OC Mike LaFleur and former Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver for the second time. Chargers officially announced the hiring of Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator. At the Senior Bowl, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia measured at 5 feet 9 7/8 inches. He was listed at 6 feet during his time at Vanderbilt. Giants signed outfielder Harrison Bader to a 2-year deal worth more than $20 million. Some NBA action this afternoon. Hawks rallied to beat the Pacers 132-116. Off day for the Sixers. They fell to the Hornets 130-93. Tyrese Maxey just 6 points. Arizona, the unanimous number 1 in this week's AP Top 25 Men's College Hoops poll. Nebraska reaching his highest point. The undefeated Cornhuskers coming in at number 5. First time in program history. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dan Byer.
Thanks,
relishing
DB.
in his Seahawks victory, getting ready for the Super Bowl. Now, we got more Covino and Rich. Like we said, we'll name some colleges. But the last story we were talking through was this Browns situation and how they're making it a difficult interviewing process as far as head coaching. What are some other hard questions you got at an interview or worst interview experiences? We'll take your phone calls and feedback next. 877-99 on Fox. We are Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Some people call us Covino and Rich the broke Zach and Slater, and I take offense to that. And there's a new lookalike in town.
A doppelganger, or as the kids are saying, choppelganger?
You know what? As much as we make fun of the weenials or Gen Z, they have great slang. Choppelganger. If you're chopped, that means you're ugly. So if you're someone's choppelganger, you're the ugly version of blank, right?
Yeah.
So you got to give them props for bussin', lit, fire, buns, Riz. It's giving blank.
Yeah.
And now chopped and choppelganger. You don't want to be someone's choppelganger. That means you're the ugly version. But there's a lookalike. It's Brock Purdy, Rich. And I'm wondering, since you love Brock Purdy so much, would you want to get with the female lookalike of Brock Purdy? She's a little young for you.
I always think of that Saved by the Bell episode where Zach is kicking it to Slater's sister, but then every time he looks at her, it's Slater's face with the wig on. So no can do. But Brock Purdy, he has a schoolboy face. And get this, a NIL deal was given to a tennis star. She's making almost $1 million, and they're saying it's because she just looks like Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy lookalike female version is in the news, and it makes us think of other doppelgangers, choppelgangers. But
would you?
It also makes me think of
Brock Purdy with a wig. Would you?
Rich would make her put a Brock Purdy jersey on.
Rich,
probably.
if it meant the Niners winning the Super Bowl this year,
Stop it, dude!
would you?
I'm not answering your dumb question, but choppelganger is a great word. And in the world of sports, would you believe that my wife had never, ever seen the comparison between Troy Aikman and Jay-Z? I made this analogy to her the other day. We were just talking about people looking alike, and there was some guy that looked like you. And I was like, yeah, so the hell, like, Jay-Z's the black Troy Aikman, and Troy Aikman's the black Jay-Z, the white Jay-Z. Never saw it in her life.
Different algorithms.
Have we not all seen this as sports fans over the years?
I mean, as sports fans, this is common knowledge. Yeah, absolutely. This is a classic right here. But you skipped over the other college example. If you remember, the Brock Purdy story isn't a news story. There was a college girl that got famous online because she looked a lot like Trevor Lawrence, or she leaned into that a lot.
I think Trevor Lawrence looks like a lot of girls you hooked up with drunk in college.
But this girl got no NIL money out of it, but she got pretty famous for that. And as Trevor Lawrence's star grew, she got popular as well. Nowadays, playoff Trevor Lawrence, and by the way, I thought he had a great season. You did a good job, young man. Hold your head up, Trevor Lawrence. I think he looks more like the love child of Edie Falco and Furio.
Oh, some Sopranos.
Nowadays, yeah. They're not saying he looks like the college girl anymore. Online, if you follow, they say he looks like Edie Falco got with Furio. Remember that love interest? And you got Trevor Lawrence. You can't unsee it now.
He really does.
Right? He really does.
He really does.
Mom? Dad?
Yeah. Oh, see?
He played it up for Halloween.
He even leaned into it. Props to Macaulay Culkin there. Joe Burrow's probably like, yeah, right, in his dreams. Look at me, I'm a stud. NFL quarterback face. And
Kevin!
Because it was such a big week for Tomlin, he stepped down. What's next for him? Coaching? Probably not. TV? Most likely. We'll see. Everybody for years, especially when he was younger. Dude, that's Omar Epps.
Yeah.
He always got that for years, and I think that one's undeniable. Come on. Put a Steelers hat on Omar Epps, the same guy.
You, over the last couple of days, have been seeing, here's when Tomlin started in 2007, and you're like, oh my God, what a young man. He was like in his early 30s. So
doppelgangers, choppelgangers meaning you're the weak version, the busted version of that person. And we'll wrap it with the best choppelganger. Rich is the choppelganger of Jimmy Garoppolo. You're the... right? All right, so anyway. Covino and Rich. I'm in Jersey. Rich and the crew, best crew in the world. Back on the West Side live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Facing a peak season, looking for a new team member? Workforce Solutions from Express Employment Pros is making hiring easier. Visit expresspros.com, find the office, and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster. And Sam is playing Burning for You because we are going to try to fit in some STDs to the show. By the way, for the record, I scored a 1,600 on my STDs, so I'm good.
Okay, perfect.
Some hot STD talk.
Yeah. But wrapping up this Browns situation, if you missed the story, people are dropping off this application, this hiring process, because the Browns have all these demands to be their head coach. You have to submit a 12,000-word essay.
Yeah,
and you have to do background checks.
Like you said before, they're going to have to call Express Employment Pros because I don't know if anyone's going to want this job with the pain-in-the-ass process they're making people go through.
You know, I hate those weak-ass questioning situations where they're like, tell us your weak spot. You know, where an interviewer asks you something weird, like, what would you consider?
Oh, I would say
say
abs. I should do more abs. Yeah, it's my weak spot.
Rich and I were
Legs.
up for. I've told this story before, I believe, to you guys on Fox Sports, but Rich and I were up for a morning gig in New York City, and the program director there found out that we went from the East Coast to the West Coast, and he's like, "All right, guys, so you live out in California now. I got one question. My first question for you guys." And this is for like a big gig in New York. He goes, Cholula or Tapatio? And honestly, I knew, depending on what I said, we were either going to set this conversation in a good tone or a bad tone. And I looked at Rich. Rich was like, Tapatio? I'd rather Tapatia. And, and I said, Cholula. And the guy said, wrong. Tapatio was the answer. I'm like, how is there a right answer for hot sauce? And honestly, I feel like he didn't like us after that. He didn't give us a chance after that.
You've brought this up on multiple occasions. I haven't thought about that since he asked. I don't think that meant anything, but I know
that set the tone where he was like, "These aren't my kind of guys."
Guess you didn't like Cholula?
We answered his litmus test the wrong way.
They're both good.
That's how I felt.
They're both fine hot sauces.
Dude, I'm telling you, he had an answer in mind. He was a Tapatio guy. So the fact that I said Cholula in his mind, he disassociated with us. Like, these guys aren't cool. Next. And I was like, come on, man. Weak.
Have you encountered any odd, job interview test? See, we had a test. I'll be honest. We did have a test. When we would hire interns and producers and stuff, we would have someone sit in on our show, and I would check how engaged they were, because there would be people that had a great resume, but they sat there and they just had a boring face the whole time. And when you do a talk show in sports or entertainment, you want the people that are part of your team to be in it. I would see how engaged and the vibes they brought while they were in the room.
Yeah, and don't think that women are the greatest.
I'll be honest. That's why I loved I Was Sam. That's why when Ramos left and they were like, who's the candidates to be the guy that runs the board in the show? I Was Sam brings an energy that other people didn't.
You don't think that people throw out trick political and religious questions just to see where people stand in the dating world? Absolutely.
Oh, I have a buddy that says he poses as a liberal on dating sites because he's a conservative and he's a cop, and he's like, it's not a fun time.
No, but they throw those questions out there just to see how you answer and to see if you're a qualified candidate.
I got one. Have you guys heard of the coffee test? Coffee. I'm sorry, you're in Jersey. Coffee.
Yeah, I know the Mario test. That's about it.
That's when the girl opens the door.
Come on, make that coffee to go. Let's go.
Hey, the coffee. Here, quickly. I know we got to run in a minute. The coffee test is simple. You go to a job interview, and someone, whether an assistant or someone, offers you a cup of coffee, and you have your coffee during the job interview. The employer watches what you do with your cup of coffee. If it's a disposable cup, some companies have silverware and stuff in the kitchen. Do you clean up after yourself is a subconscious test. Yeah. It's called the coffee test.
And that's what the Browns are doing. They're throwing all these crazy things out there to see where you stand and make it difficult. And by the way, since we're running out of time, I'm dying to know what the number one college is as far as STDs.
You guys want to hold the STDs until tomorrow?
Well, Rich holds them all the time.
We can hold it. Danny, what a tease. We'll do that tomorrow. So,
all right, fine. You don't want to just get the number one?
Colleges to not send your kids to? We'll go to that tomorrow.
Exactly. Okay, all right, fine.
But yeah, if you have any other tests, like the coffee test, let us know at Covino and Rich, because I do think how you pick up after yourself is important. Honestly, it is. You ever go out to dinner with someone, they don't clean up after themselves? It's a turnoff. We'll see you guys later. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land. Have a great night.
Goodbye.
Later.